One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides up to his ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hears back to a cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Shit. Much love, honor, respect to everybody. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their Monday morning so far. And we are back and at it with everybody in the Breakfast Club, man. Let's get it. So we had a fantastic time with you guys with the Breakfast Club for the 4th of July weekend. And it was nice. It was not too overwhelming where we had like 150 people here or anything like that. It wasn't like that. It was very, it was actually a perfect amount of people, I think. But so real quick, before we get into like all the call to actions and shit, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the fireworks and what we set up for the 4th of July and what to expect at least for next year. But real quick, we do have a lot going on in the news, as you guys probably have seen, obviously regards to Texas. There's been a total of 82 right now. They're calling it at least 82 people are dead from this whole Texas floods, as well as there have been confirmed 27 campers at a camp site called Mystic. Camp Mystic confirms 27 campers were, basically torn up and completely, I guess, the people inside of them also died, which is also terrible. I mean, it's just all around terrible. Then we have an hour ago, we have an update regarding Netanyahu meeting up with President Trump today. So we have a lot going on here. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys the Instagram side of the thing right here. Look, boom, follow my Instagram right there. I won't say it when we do the call to action stuff. But here we go. I'll just play a couple little things here for you guys. Unfortunately, I can't play this song because this is copywritten music, so I don't want to do that to myself. But that's how we started up the bonfire. Naomi's actually recording this, and I shot the bonfire up. We doused it in a whole bunch of gasoline. We got our neighbors here. We got Black Dragon, Beezer, Hardwire, Vicky, me, my dad. Obviously, Naomi holding the camera. And now we're getting ready to light the fireworks down by the lake there. And we wired them. We wired them with fuses. So we only had to light it once. And we all just stood back and watched it all go down. It was awesome. It was a perfect light show and everything.
Yes, sir.
That's Beezer.
Great job. First time wire. Yeah.
What's up, brother Steve Easy? Yes, 18 for 18. That's right, my man. Shit.
That's the way to do it, huh?
Thank you for 18 months on that, cuz.
Fucking fix that ass.
And then on to the next box here in a second.
There goes the next box. It's already
It's
ready.
true. It's true,
There it
Steve.
goes. Yeah, great time. Man. There it goes.
Sounds like missiles.
Grand finale. Here we go.
Cannonballs. Yes, sir. Sure did on this one, Papa. I just can't help myself, Steve. Just can't help myself. I love this shit too much. America. Missiles. That's right, Straight Jacket. Good to see you, man. Gunpowder Nitro, as always. Habit of Chaos. Good morning. Black Dragon's dogs were not digging our shit that we were throwing up. Yep, another box of them were going up.
More here comes.
Yeah, anyways. Anywho, I don't want to bore you guys with a whole bunch of fireworks. But yeah, we definitely go down and get down with it. It's a lot different, obviously, when you're there and right underneath it. You get to experience it. It's not as great on video. But real quick, man, we got Brother Beezer coming in with the 12 months as well. 1 year down, Beezer says. Yes, sir. Very much appreciate you as well, man. Y'all are making it rain up in here. You, Brother Beezer, and Steve Easy with the 18 months, man. That's awesome, man. 18, I think that's you're the number one in length as well, like for how long someone's been a member of the channel. I think you and Papa Penguin are like right next to each other or something like that. Anyways, so before we get into all the craziness of the the world that we're going to be doing here, make sure you guys come in and hit that like button. It's the #1 metric of all of YouTube. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are brand new to the show, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because it's also free. Please consider becoming a member. This is the part that the money part is right here. Listen, $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank with anybody out here. And listen, if we're breaking the bank with that, make sure you do not send in any money. But listen, this helps out the show immensely, allows us to speak the way that we do, and allows us not to cater to views, YouTube views, to make money on this shit. So we're 100% funded by you guys, so we can't do it without you guys. So we're very much appreciative of everybody in the Breakfast Club. Last but not least, of course, every super chat, super what do they call them? Super stickers, gifted membership signups. All of these things are, of course, going to be shouted out and presented live onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take away from your hard-earned money, well, listen, we have these platforms scrolling for the remainder of the show. And I will, of course, read your messages, you know what I mean, and shout them out. I've got it ready on my side, on the phone side, so if anybody sends anything in, I've got it. We've got Papa Penguin saying, I'm number 2 with the 18 months. Shit. See, I knew you guys were right there. You guys are right next to each other. So, damn, we got 2 18 months up in here. That's a great number, by the way. So, hey, listen, but for the rest of those pocket watchers out here,
maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Shit. What's up, Brother Frederick? Good to see you up in the building as well. We got Naomi throwing in the Discord link. If you guys haven't joined up on the Discord yet, make sure you guys do. It's a great place for us to go ahead and hang out after the show and continue the conversation. And not only that, we're like a big family in there, man. So make sure you guys join up on that. If you guys are watching this on the playback, make sure you guys check out the link in the description of every video. You guys can find all those. We got Brother Pitbull out here as well, and he's over there actually right now in Brazil for the club. But listen this. He's usually from the UK, but he's out there right now in Brazil, man. So hopefully you're enjoying yourself. And I'm trying to think, it's going to be cold for you right now, Pitbull. So hopefully you're warm down there. It's kind of weird how it works with the, hemisphere, the southern hemisphere versus the northern. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the madness of today. We're going to pull up our very first story, which is Trump yesterday. This is I brought it as far back as 16 hours ago on our very first video. The next video is from 16 hours ago as well. And then it goes basically after that, there's a 14-hour ago, and then 3 hours, 2 hours ago, and 1 hour ago. So we're keeping us all the way updated from basically 16 hours ago of what's happening.
Thank you very much. We've been in touch
Oh,
with...
shit. Real quick. We got Naomi throwing in a 10 spot, by the way. Very much appreciate her saying, I've officially claimed Mike's eyebrows and the rest of him, but for sure the brows. Fight me, ladies. Shit. Thank you for dropping it like it's hot. You know what I mean? Very much appreciate you. And yeah, these eyebrows are on fleek, girl. Shit. All right, so let me go ahead and start this from the beginning here. What sucks about this is they always do this next to the plane, and it's just fucking loud and high-pitched. There's no bassiness to the voice, you know what I mean? And real quick, we also have another donation on the Cash App. We got Straight Jacket sending in 5 cent ease up code. Yes, sir. Good to see you, my man. And thank you for the 5 spot on the Cash App, my man. Making it rain. Yes, sir. Hit that Cash App. That's right. And we have Hook Dog, my man. Good morning to you, kind sir. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning over there on the West Coast.
To be there, and we're working very close with representatives from Texas, and it's a horrible thing that took place. Absolutely horrible. So we say God bless all of the people that have gone through so much, and God bless the state of Texas. It's an incredible place. Any questions?
What's up, Rose and Gary? Good morning to you guys. That chick has a really high-pitched voice, so I had to pause her because she was like way too loud. But Gary, good morning to you. This same river in Texas flooded, I think, in 1998 and took out a bunch of campers, same as this time. Wow, that's fucking crazy, Gary. Thank you for coming in, hanging out with us, all of you guys, because you guys could have been anywhere else but here, but you guys decided to be right here with me, so I very much appreciate you guys. We got Dwayne in here as well, my man. Good to see you. And Path Killer, much love, honor, respect.
FEMA? Well, FEMA is something we can talk about later, but right now
she basically asked right there, what's the ordeal on FEMA? Do you plan on basically still doing what you were going to do with FEMA?
Busy working, so we'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're doing a job right now, and if they fuck off on this, I'm sure then Trump will go ahead and just dismantle it.
For the trade letters that you're sending out on Monday, Secretary Bessent said that it would be a 3-week extension and that rates could go back up to the...
Are you serious, Papa? He says saw some douche canoe politician in Houston already made this into a white people bad thing. How does that happen? How does that magically happen? How is it magically the white men or white people bad thing? Like how is that automatic to that? That's crazy.
April 2nd level on August 1st.
Illusion.
Is that what we should...
Sending letters out on Monday having to do with the trade deals. It could be 12, maybe 15. You know, Secretary of Commerce right here. And I guess, Howard, I would say it could be maybe as many as 15 or so. And they'll be going out on Monday, and some will go out on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we've made deals also. So we're going to have a combination of letters, and some deals have been made.
Elon Musk starting a third party.
Elon Musk. Here's the question: what about Elon Musk starting a third party? Well, I
think it's ridiculous to start.
Yeah, I knew we were going to say that. I think it's ridiculous.
Third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really...
You know, I understand what he's saying here. I get it. I get what he's saying. But it would behoove Trump, because most people hate the two-party system. Most Americans really hate it. I think that he should have been like, yeah, go for it. Create your party. Do what you need to do. You know what I mean? I don't think he should have defended the two-party system. I think he should have actually been like, hey, no problem. You guys do what you want to do over there, you know, and not necessarily condemn a third party. I think it would behoove Trump to go, you know what, actually, I think we should do this. Why not? Just throw it right back in his face like that. I think that would have been the best way to handle that.
It seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I saw that, Steve. I actually just reviewed all of that. I read the whole actual document where they're trying to do the transparency ordeal. Yeah, I read the whole thing.
Golden key back from Elon.
Go ahead.
I hear that,
What's your
Beezer.
message going to be to Netanyahu tomorrow?
But we're working
So
on
now the question is, what are you going to be talking about with Netanyahu tomorrow, which is today? I can pretty much tell you he ain't going to say much.
a lot of things with Israel. And one of the things is probably a permanent deal with Iran. In other words, they have to give up all of the things that you know so well. The attack turned out, according to every single atomic energy commission, that was a complete and total obliteration. And we had the pilots, as you know, at the White House on Friday. They were incredible. And they confirmed that. They know better than anybody, by the way, but they confirmed that. Every bomb hit its mark perfectly. And they would have to start all over again at a different location. This one is, the word I used was the correct word, obliteration.
What will your message be on Gaza to?
So we've already heard all of that in the defense of the attack with the B-2 bombers and the bunker busters.
Netanyahu?
I think we're close to a deal on Gaza. We could have it this week.
I hope that happens. I hope a deal with Gaza happens this week, like he just said. And all hostages returned. That's all that needs to happen. Then the end of the war can be done. But it's up to Netanyahu if he actually wants it done, which he doesn't. He wants utter and complete annihilation of Hamas. Complete destruction.
Democrats are claiming more federal cuts for the jets over in Texas.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, he just dismissed that chick right there. She was losing her mind, and he's like, yeah, fuck off.
For the jets over in Texas.
He said, I can't hear you. Move on. Brother Steve Posey up in the building. Hit that like button, everybody.
There's a good chance we have a deal with Hamas during the coming week, pertaining to quite a few of the hostages. Yeah. You know, we've gotten a lot of the hostages out, but pertaining to the remaining hostages, quite a few of them will be coming out. We think we'll have that done this week.
Mr. President, do the tariff rates change at all on July 9th, or do they change on August 1st?
What are you talking about?
Tariff rates, do they change on
Yeah, your voice is just way too fucking high for him. That's it. It's like he's like, I can't even understand this bitch. Her voice is so fucking pitchy and high.
July 9th or August 1st?
No, they're going to be tariffs. The tariffs are going to be the tariffs. I think we'll have most countries done by July 9th, yeah. Either a letter or a deal.
But they go into effect on August 1st. The tariffs go into effect August 1st, but the president is setting the rates and the deals right now.
Okay?
Are you investigating whether some of the cuts to the federal government left key vacancies?
That was a good save on that dude's part to answer the question that she wanted over there on the media side, because Trump, he answered it, but he didn't fully grasp what she was asking, basically when they go into effect, and he didn't necessarily answer that. So that was a good save by this dude.
Vacancies at the National Weather Service or in the emergency coordination?
No,
They did not.
They did. I'll tell you, if you look at that, what a situation that all is. And that was really
Yep. He texted me this morning and let me know that he got home safe and everything. Yes, sir. Everyone got home safe.
Biden setup. That was not our setup, but I wouldn't blame Biden for it either. I would just say this is a 100-year catastrophe, and it's just so horrible to watch.
Are you planning to visit Texas, Mr. President?
Probably on Friday. We wanted to leave a little time.
No, yeah. He's saying we want to leave a little time before we went straight to Texas. Probably because he's going to say somewhat to the effect that it's too chaotic right now, or they would just be in the way, kind of thing. But he says most likely Friday he'll be in Texas to help, talk about this and bring attention over there.
I would have done it today, but we'd just be in their way.
Yeah, I called that. He said we'll just be in their way.
Probably Friday.
President, have you been briefed on the ship that was hit in the Red Sea? Do you know if the Houthis attacked that ship today?
We'll give you a report sometime tonight or tomorrow.
DC City Council has not approved a new stadium for the Commanders.
Okay, I really don't care about the rest of these questions regarding this. We got the answers that we needed. So we're going to go ahead and move on from that whole ordeal. Okay, so this is 16 hours ago. The headline is President Trump signs disaster declaration as Texas flooding death toll rises to at least 78. But since then, an hour later, basically the next day, which is now 3 hours ago, the updated number is 82 people at least are dead from the Texas floods. So anyhow, let's go ahead and figure out what the hell's going on here. Let me go ahead and share this screen. Bam. All right. We're in it.
Live now from Fox. And of course, as we monitor the situation right now in the Hill Country.
Hell yeah, we got Brother Mount High in the building. Yeah, that's right, man. Check it out. Look. I was waiting for you to show up. No cap. You know what I mean?
It's not the cap.
Anyways, we got the Doob Tube. And I used to do this a long time ago, but now I stopped doing it. I don't know why, but now I'm going back to it. I put where you put a little filter at the end. You just, they sell it to you and you just zigzag fold it and then you just put it in. So hell yeah, we're ready, lock and loaded, cuh. We're about to get down with our bad selves.
Of Texas, at least 78 people deceased following these major flash floods happening there. We're also learning more about the disaster declaration that President Trump put into place, saying, quote, I have declared a major disaster under the Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act, the state of Texas, due to the damage resulting from severe...
No, BD didn't bring the dragon wagon. No, he just brought his truck and his 2 dogs.
Storms, straight line winds, and flooding beginning on July the 2nd and continuing. I have authorized federal relief and recovery assistance in the affected area. Individual assistance and public assistance will be provided consistent with the requirement that federal assistance is supplemental. Any federal funds provided under the Stafford Act and other needs assistance under Section 408 be limited to 75% of total eligible. Talking about Secretary Kristi Noem also on the ground.
Shit.
All right, so you see Marine One as he's about to step on.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to speed this up.
Off this, get onto Air Force One to return to Washington, D.C. ahead of a new week. So potentially could speak to reporters about this.
Man, I certainly hope not, Papa Penguin. I certainly hope not.
Very developing, heartbreaking story out of Kerr County. On social media, he also posted, quote, I just signed that major disaster declaration for Kerr County, Texas, to ensure that our brave first responders...
Got to remember, paper money, cash is king, and it always will be. We need to keep it that way. We need to keep it that way. Digital currency, if we go to digital currency, we're fucked. We're fucked.
Immediately had the resources they need.
I mean, we already are.
Families are enduring an unimaginable tragedy with many lives lost and still many missing. The Trump administration continues to work closely with state and local leaders. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem was on the ground yesterday with Governor Greg Abbott and is working hard to help the people of his great state. So you can see President Trump getting off the plane right now. Howard Lutnick right behind him as heading over to the media to talk about this tragedy in Texas here over the weekend, a 4th of July holiday weekend that started with celebration, ends with tragedy there in Texas. Let's listen in to the president here on Live Now from Fox.
Oh, okay. So this is that very moment. Okay, so it was just them talking about that leading up to, which is all we actually needed. I wanted the monologue there. Okay, so now we're going to go into the whole ordeal with Trump and Musk. Trump reacts to Musk's new political party, says it is sad to see Elon go off the rails.
Mandy Mack here on Live Now from Fox. I do want to take you out to another developing story. President Trump has responded to Elon Musk, calling it ridiculous, his endeavor, his desire to start a third party here after the passage of the reconciliation bill. I want to put up this here on social media from the president on Truth Social, saying, quote, I'm saddened to watch Elon.
All right, so now he's reading Trump's words here. So this one's brutal for sure. I read the whole thing when it originally came out, but here you guys go.
Social media from the president on Truth Social, saying, quote, I'm saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. He even wants to start a third political party, despite the fact that they have never succeeded in the United States. The system seems not designed for them. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos. And we have enough.
He's not wrong, but he could be playing this a lot better than this. He shouldn't be advocating for only a two-party system right now. It's only going to create the never Trumpers and the left to create this because Trump doesn't want it.
Of that with the radical left Democrats who have lost their confidence and their minds. Republicans, on the other hand, are a smooth running machine, just passed the biggest bill of its kind in the history of our country. It's a great bill, but unfortunately for Elon, it eliminates that ridiculous electric vehicle mandate, which would be forced everyone to buy an electric car in a short period of time. I've been strongly opposed to that from the very beginning. People are now allowed to buy whatever they want, gasoline-powered hybrids or new technologies as they come about. No more EV mandates. I have campaigned on this for 2 years, and quite honestly, when Elon gave me his total and unquestioned endorsement, I asked him whether or not he knew that I was going to terminate the EV mandate. It was in every speech I made and every conversation I had. He said,
"Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it on the on Fox's side yet. I haven't seen it.
He had no problems with that."
But
I was very surprised. Additionally,
I'll tell you one thing, that if they don't cover it, I'll cover it. I don't give a shit.
Elon asked that one of his close friends run NASA, and while I thought his friend was very good, I was surprised to learn that he'd be a blue-blooded Democrat who had never contributed to a Republican before. Elon probably was also inappropriate that a close friend of Elon who was in the space business run NASA when NASA is such a big part of Elon's corporate life. My number one charge is to protect the American public. So that, again, on social media from President Trump calling what Elon Musk has desired to start a third party as ridiculous. A live look right there in Washington, D.C. at the White House as we saw Elon Musk time and time again speak during the campaign of President Trump during his run for the White House a second time. And it's not clear if Elon Musk will follow through with the party in the wake of his announcement, but the move comes as the men launched into a back and forth for the second time in a matter of months as Republicans.
So I got a question for you guys. Do you think there should be a third party? Put a 1 in the chat if you think there should be a third party. Put a 2 in the chat if you do not think there should be a third party. Let me know what you guys think.
Republicans in Congress, they worked to pass the mega bill, and ultimately they did. President Trump also commented about this new desire endeavor from Elon Musk about the third party in the United States on the tarmac on his way back to Washington, D.C. Let's listen in to these comments from the president.
Starting a third party.
I think it's ridiculous to start a third party.
And we just covered that, him saying that it's ridiculous and him going off there about basically defending the two-party system.
All right, that was the question and answer from President Trump on the tarmac about Elon Musk wanting.
Real quick, we got Brother Bob up in the building, Biker News Canada, my man. He says, just pop in and say hi. I'm on my way to work. Have a great day, everyone. And Mike, hey, very much appreciate you, kind sir. Hopefully you enjoy your day at work as well, man. We'll see you
to start a new political party after that one big, beautiful bill passed and was signed into law last week.
What's up, brother GEG? Good to see you, my man. Real quick, let me bring this down and exit out of this bit right here. Why didn't it do it? There we go. We got GEG over there in the West Coast, my man. Good to see you. And I see a whole bunch of 1s, man. I don't see any 2s up in this building. You know what I mean? So I believe everyone should ride electric motorcycles. You're funny, Gunpowder Nitro. We got Joseph as well up there, our snow Mexican. We always appreciate him coming in, hanging out with us We love our Canadians. Saying, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, breakfast crew, Bob, and can't forget the haters. Stop the cat.
Stop the cat.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning as well. We got Joker MCR, my man, as well. Good to see you. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning as well. We definitely are on our side. So real quick, let me go ahead and bring up the latest update regarding Texas and basically the floods. It's updated up to 82 people dead from this, and this is 3 hours ago.
Good morning, and thank you so much for waking up with us here on Live Now.
What's up, Jack and Classy? Good morning.
From Fox, it's Monday, July 7th. I'm Jeanne Francine, here with you for the next few hours to give you all of your breaking news alerts, top stories, and of course, your live events of the day. We continue with breaking news and priority coverage, which takes us out to the Lone Star State of Texas. I want you to take a look at the latest video.
This shit is so devastating. I haven't seen this particular video, but I've seen some of the craziness on social media regarding this flood. This is insane. This is wild.
You're getting this Monday morning courtesy of our content partners, also shit. From locals in the area sharing video from their backyard. Insane. Very compelling as we watch this together. Unfortunate news this morning. The number of dead across central Texas has now risen to at least 82, with multiple people still missing. This after catastrophic flooding decimated several communities in the early morning hours on July 4th. Recovery and search efforts press on this morning as officials face questions over the effectiveness and speed of local alerts. We want to check in now with Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor. She joins us from Kerrville, Texas, with the very latest.
The number of people dead keeps rising across central Texas after flash floods tore through the region on Friday. At least 6 dozen people are dead as officials vow to keep searching for the missing.
We had no idea that it would ever get this bad.
The reality of the devastation is still sinking in for many.
God damn, dude. Are these like homes underwater? What the fuck is going on here?
Flood victims across central Texas.
Jesus.
Intense rain early Friday caused levels on the Guadalupe.
So they said central Texas. Where exactly are like the major areas being affected right now?
Bay River to quickly rise by about 26 feet in some spots, triggering widespread destruction.
Did she just say 26 feet?
By about 26 feet.
Holy fuck.
In some spots, triggering widespread destruction across several counties outside San Antonio.
Oh, she just said San Antonio.
Kerr County has suffered some of the most intense
Kerr County. I don't know where that is.
Losses. It's home to Camp Mystic, an all-girls Christian summer camp where several campers are.
Wow. So the Camp Mystic ordeal, they were a girls' summer camp, Christian summer camp. Holy fuck. So these people that the next story, the next update on the Texas flood is Camp Mystic confirms there are 27 campers and people dead from this. Man, this is fucking terrible.
Still unaccounted for. Survivors recount braving intense conditions to get to safety.
We guided our girls hand in hand to these military trucks.
It was nothing short of horrific to see what those young children went through.
Crazy.
And we will remain 100% dedicated, searching for every single one of them.
Helicopters, divers, and more keep combing through disaster sites for any victims, as local officials face questions about their alert systems.
There's going to be a full review, of this so we can make sure that we focus on future preparedness.
Meanwhile, additional rainfall in the area is expected through Tuesday.
The ground is already saturated, so any rain that falls can be perceived as life-threatening rain.
President Donald Trump has signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County. He said he'll likely visit on Friday. In Kerrville, Texas, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
God damn, this sucks.
All right, Rebecca, thank you so much for that detailed report. 1 minute shy from the top.
It just seems like Texas gets it. When they get it, man, they get it. Fuck, man.
Of the 6 o'clock hour. And I want to give you that live look, as many of us might have family and loved ones in this area. Of course, the sun not up just yet, but want to let you all know we are monitoring the many cameras we are receiving here on Live Now from Fox this Monday morning. Our content partners across the Lone Star State are in compelling detailed coverage this morning. We want to kick things off with our content partners over at Fox 26 Houston.
Can't hear the midges.
Welcome to
There we
Wake
go.
Up on a really hard day. We have a lot of heavy headlines for you. I'm Lena DeFlorius. I'm Melissa Wilson in for Sally McDonald. Thankful you're here with us today. We have a lot to cover for you, so we'll get right to it. Flash flood threats.
Real quick, we got Tats over there across the pond. Good to see you over there in the UK. Saying, morning all. Hope you're all well and had a great 4th of July. We definitely did have a fantastic 4th of July. It was a great party. I showed it off a little bit in the beginning of this stream, so if you want to check that out, or it's on my Instagram as well. But good morning. Well, actually, good afternoon to you. Hopefully you're enjoying your Monday so far.
Maine and parts of the Texas Hill Country this morning. This is search and rescue efforts continue for those still missing and all that deadly weekend flooding. The death toll has now risen to 82 after searchers found more bodies on Sunday.
This is including dozens of children, 400 plus people on recovery efforts. 500 plus had to be rescued, and flash flood threatens obviously remain.
If that includes dozens of children, 10
Yeah,
of
that's crazy.
those were at that Christian summer camp in Kirk County.
So 10 children died from the 27 campers over there in Camp Mystic. She just said it right there.
Hundreds of people are helping with the recovery near the Guadalupe River. And
so brutal. All right, we're gonna move into that whole ordeal with the Camp Mystic. This shit is already bumming me the fuck out, dude. Like, this is rough.
8:36 is the time. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. My goodness,
This is the part of my job that I hate. You know what I mean?
The devastation out in Kirk County, Texas. We are following some breaking news
What's up, Rob's neighbor?
on this Monday morning as it relates to the death toll of these Texas floods. I want you to take a look at the very latest information from Fox News. Transitioning your screen, it says breaking. Camp Mystic says it's mourning the loss of 27 campers, counselors in Texas flooding. Also working with the Associated Press this morning, as they say Camp Mystic says it's grieving the loss of
27 people died from this at Camp Mystic, and 10 of which were children, girls.
27 campers and counselors as the search continues this Monday for victims of catastrophic Texas flooding over the 4th of July holiday weekend. I do want to transition the screen back to give you this live aerial view as I share with you the latest information. The statement just given adds another layer of heartbreak to the devastating flooding that sent a wall of water.
What's up, Brother Warland? Good morning to you, kind sir. Hopefully you're enjoying the Monday morning so far.
Through the century-old summer camp. With more rain on the way, the risk of life-threatening flooding is still high in central Texas this Monday, even as crews search urgently for the missing following a holiday weekend deluge that killed more than 80 people. Officials saying the death toll is sure to continue to rise. We're also learning from AP that residents of Kirk County, they are starting to clear mud and salvage what they can from their demolished properties as they recount harrowing escapes from rapidly rising floodwaters dating back to late Friday. We're also learning that rescuers, they continue to maneuver through challenging terrain filled with snakes as they continue their search for the missing, including those from Camp Mystic, an all-girls summer camp that sustained massive damage. Sunday afternoon, more than 2 days after the floods tore through the camp, authorities saying that some of the girls and a counselor had still not been found. But again, getting back to this updated information, this breaking news, Camp Mystic saying it's mourning the loss of now 27 campers and counselors in this Texas flooding. As we are following this latest information, I want to share with you this statement from Camp Mystic on their website.
Oh man, this can be hard to hear.
Take a good look there. They say, quote, "Our hearts are broken alongside our families that are enduring this unimaginable tragedy. We are praying for them constantly." They go on to say, quote, "We have been in communication with local and state authorities."
Shit, Steve Easy catering to the law? What?
Stop the cap.
Shit.
Who are tirelessly deploying extensive resources to search for our missing girls. We are deeply grateful for the outpouring of support from community, first responders, and officials at every level. We ask for your continued prayers, respect, and privacy for each of our families affected. They conclude the statement by saying, quote, "May the Lord continue to wrap his presence around all of us." So following the very latest from Camp Mystic this morning, as they mourn the loss of 27 campers and counselors, we'll continue to follow the very latest information, and you can rely on Live Now from Fox to share it with you in real time.
Yeah. All right, real quick. He says, it's not the law, it's the lack of quality bud here. It's like 90s shit to me. Yeah, I bet you it is like brick weed and shit like that. Like over there, Mexican brick. That's funny. Yeah, you definitely have to probably get that shit out of state if you want anything decent. I pretty much can guarantee that. All right, so let's go ahead and go into now. We got the update on what's happening today with Netanyahu when he will be at the White House. I'm sure they will be talking about this on here, and we'll make sure after this we refresh it on my side and make sure that we're completely updated and like as if he didn't just come in and it's being covered. We're going to make sure it's not live or anything, but this will give us an update on what's happening here.
We are learning this morning Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu did arrive in the U.S. for another high-stakes
Okay, so he's already here.
Meeting with President Donald Trump at the White House. The two are working toward a ceasefire deal in Gaza. But as Fox News correspondent Doug Luzada reports from Washington this morning, there are big hurdles ahead.
Well, the two leaders have certainly found common cause on Iran, but a deal in Gaza remains elusive, even as President Trump says a ceasefire may be right around the corner. The 4th of July.
And by the way, we have an update on the Texas flooding. Since we've been live, it was put up 14 minutes ago. So we'll play it after this.
Flyover at the White House is just one indicator of what President Trump will want to talk about today. And look for him to tout the U.S. bombing mission in Iran when he sits down once again with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House.
We're going to have a meeting on Iran, obviously. The success, that was a great success.
Netanyahu called it a tremendous victory over a shared enemy as he departed Israel yesterday. That war between Israel and Iran wrapped up in just 12 days. But the bigger issue now may be Gaza, an intense conflict that is approaching the 2-year.
Really? That's interesting, Bob.
Mark.
I think we're close to a deal on Gaza. We could have it this week.
The president is pushing for a ceasefire deal between Israel.
That needs to happen. Just get the fucking hostages back and let the war be done.
Israel and Hamas that includes the return of Israeli hostages. Hamas appears to be open to it, but there are unresolved questions, including whether it would track to a permanent end to the war. The Democrats say the president is not the deal maker he thinks he is.
He is not bringing peace to Ukraine.
What's up, Tiffany? Good morning to you. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning so far.
In Russia, he's not bringing peace to the Middle East, for that matter, despite everything they talk about. Their wars continue. The war in Gaza continues.
And much may hinge on what these two leaders can hash out at the White House today. And Netanyahu will also try to shore up support here on Capitol Hill, meeting, he says, with congressional leaders from both parties. In Washington, Doug Luzada, Fox News.
Shit. Why can't we hear you? Okay, there we go.
All right, Doug, thank you so much for that detailed report. And again, taking you back out to the White House, as I did mention, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his team arriving in the U.S. bright and early this morning for that high-stakes meeting with President Donald Trump. We want to check in now with Jerusalem Bureau Chief for the Jewish News Syndicate channel, Alex Trayman, who is traveling alongside Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu yet again for another visit. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, Alex. Good morning.
So he's traveling alongside Netanyahu right now. Interesting.
Morning, Janae.
So a lot of the viewers wanting to know what makes this trip different. Also, we want to thank you for joining us bright and early as you have been traveling overnight to get here to the U.S.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I think that this is the third trip since President Trump's been in office. It's a little bit more than symbolic. First, it's a victory lap for the successful operation in Iran. Both the president and the prime minister worked together seemingly flawlessly to take out Iran's nuclear facilities. But as the previous report just mentioned, there are other issues on the agenda, including trying to find a solution, an end out of the conflict with Gaza. At the same time, we see that Israel is very active militarily, even in the last 24 hours, attacking in Yemen, attacking in Lebanon, attacking in Syria. So this war,
wow, the Israelis are hitting 3 different countries right now.
Is nowhere near over, and then looming on the other side of war is peace. The prime minister and the president expected to speak about normalization agreements, potentially with Syria, potentially with Lebanon, potentially with Saudi Arabia.
Damn.
And Alex, that's the perfect segue, as you did mention, what the Israeli prime minister and U.S. president are expected to discuss, providing this for you and the viewers. I'm sure you already knew this, though, if you traveling along with the Israeli prime minister. We just received Netanyahu's tentative schedule in Washington. This coming from a source familiar with the details. It says today a meeting with Secretary of State Rubio and the White House envoy Witkoff at the Blair House for preparation ahead of the meeting with President Donald Trump. This further shows what you just mentioned, all of the dignitaries that are going to be involved with these high-level talks. What is the mood like in Israel with Israeli?
Yeah. What's up, Brother Lee, my man? Hopefully you're enjoying the morning so far. I know that we definitely are. And listen, real quick, I haven't said it like in a long time. I haven't done it at all, actually. Can you guys do me a huge favor? As Lee just said, we got to get them likes up. Even though you guys are right there, we want it to be a perfect, we got 31 of you guys in here. We got to get 31 likes. You know what I mean? We got Kitty as well. Good morning to you. Actually, good afternoon to you. You over there in the UK as well.
He's knowing that
Hopefully
the prime minister is here in the U.S. with still so many hostages in Hamas captivity.
Well, certainly Israelis want to see the hostages home. They know that Hamas is dragging this out. Israel would be ready, I believe, to stop all hostilities in the Gaza Strip and get to that day after, if and only if it can get all of its hostages back. They're talking now, there's a negotiating team in Qatar discussing a 60-day ceasefire.
Why did he say Qatar, too? So we've got like 3 different reporters using the word Qatar for Qatar. That's what they're talking about. So anytime you hear these goofballs say Qatar, that's what they mean, Qatar. We've always said Qatar. Qatarians have always said Qatar. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Ceasefire, which would see 10 living hostages return and 18 bodies of dead bodies that have been taken hostage return over that period. And then also that the talks would continue toward a permanent end of the hostilities. But at this point, Hamas had given back its demands, and they were reported to be unacceptable to Israel. So we have to see if there's
Be safe at work, man. We'll see you on the flip side. Hopefully you enjoy your morning and work day.
Formula that can be agreeable to both sides.
Alex, as we further discuss this story, you pinpoint an important topic. Hamas is a terroristic organization, so obviously they are wanting their demands to be met. It seems like every time Israel and even
I think any side, whether they're terrorists or not, would want their side to be met.
The U.S. presents something to make them happy in any sense, they do.
Gee, what's up, sick bastard? Good morning to you, as well as Stephanie. We got Stephanie up in the building. Good to see you. And yes, it's all good. You don't have to worry about being way behind. You can always watch it after. We only do an hour every day. It's not like I do the, 8-hour live streams like some of these fucking streamers do. I can't believe they do that shit. I mean, I used to do it back on Twitch. But that was like different, you're not necessarily, you're playing video games and shit like that. It doesn't really, you can be on there for a long time and not necessarily be there grifting. You're there because you're playing video games and you're competing. But anyways, back to this.
Send it back. Do you expect this to be the final time that something is sent to Hamas? If they do send it back, have you heard if the U.S. will step up efforts? Again, mentioning that hostages are still in Hamas captivity. Also, a lot of eyes on Iran at the same time, as we do know Hamas is backed by Iranian proxies.
Well, we saw the president in his first visit to the Middle East visit Qatar, and it's being reported that
he said it correctly this time. That was weird. He said it wrong the first time, and now he's saying it correctly. Okay.
the United States is putting tremendous pressure on Qatar, which has been a mediator in this process, which has housed top Hamas leaders to pressure Hamas to finally let go of the hostages. It was reported in the last 24 hours that Hamas's hold on the Gaza Strip has been reduced by 80%. Their military capabilities have been significantly degraded. The top and mid levels of command, have been removed. So Israel feels like there's a military victory there, but at the same time, the only card that Hamas holds is these hostages, and that's why they took them on the first day of this war.
Right, and that's their only real leverage.
As you mentioned that, Alex, transitioning to give you and the viewers a live look at the Israel-Gaza border, I actually worked this weekend, and it looks like there was a lot of activity out in Gaza. No word if there were strikes, but we do know the IDF did tell people to seek shelter. With that happening, it further seems like the likelihood of a ceasefire isn't happening. We've heard from Netanyahu several times where he says Hamas has no plan for a ceasefire because they want control of.
Sick bastard, it went fantastic, bro. We had a fantastic time. I showed a little bit of the party on my Instagram, and I also played it on this stream right here at the top of the hour. So if you want to check it out, I posted a little bit of that.
Of this area.
That's right. And Israel and the United States may have some ability to put pressure on Hamas by putting command of the area to another party. We saw that Israel had armed the Abu Shabab clan, which was an enemy of Hamas inside the Gaza Strip, giving them sort of control over parts of Gaza and what I believe was a pilot project. There might be a larger announcement, whether that would be Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, the Saudis, other parties that will take over control of the Strip. Meanwhile, it's important for Israel that the humanitarian aid, which is the only commodity entering Gaza right now, doesn't get in the hands of Hamas, because then that's what they use in order to maintain their hold over the population.
And Alex, I know you don't have a crystal ball, you can't see the future, but let's say the ceasefire does happen. What happens to Hamas? Do they just find another area to terrorize?
This is actually a good question, and I think this is the last question right here, or one of the last questions.
More people to murder and kill. What happens? Because we have seen when one group dies down, another might ramp up. We saw that with Hezbollah towards the beginning of October 7th, correct?
Well, it's definitely the big fear that if one group dies down inside Gaza, that another armed faction could arise. It's a very dangerous game. The Israelis had talked about a permanent end to hostilities that would see to all the hostages coming back and the possibility for exile of remaining Hamas leaders, that they would have safe exit out of the Strip. If not, you will see fighting continue, unfortunately, and it could take weeks, it could take months for Israel to continue to go through the Strip area by area, building by building, and to extricate the last Hamas gunman.
Alex Trayman, always a pleasure to have you join us here on Live Now.
Yeah, you can't stand it? Yeah, I hear it. I hear you. It's all good, homie. I get you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and give you guys the last update on the Texas flooding. This just came out about now 25 minutes ago. Let's go ahead and see what's
We're in constant contact with the State Emergency Center. We have Houston Fire on the scene. In fact, last night we sent additional resources. HPD is on call. Largely, we were advised that the federal government is pretty much taking over the rescue with the Coast Guard, the National Guard, and other agencies, but certainly we're a phone call away, and we're in constant touch with Nim Kidd, Freeman Martin, the director of DPS, so they know all.
Why do they have something playing on the loudspeaker? Like, it sounded like they're in a, wherever they're at, it sounded like the airport.
Of Houston's first responders are available, certainly our dive teams, and there's a list of resources, but Chief Munoz, Chief Diaz, Brian Mason, all the emergency departments.
Yep, it's doing it.
Are in constant touch.
So it says up here, Texas flooding latest. Search teams in Texas face more rain. 82 confirmed dead in flash floods. At least 28 children among dead 10 summer campers missing. State public safety chief predicts death toll will rise.
Yeah, it's
terrible.
It's changing, Abby. When we get through here, I'll get you a count. But as of
I
last
hate
night,
this shit.
I know Chief Munoz was sending additional resources. We're trying to, obviously, you can imagine the chaos, and they're trying to do it. You know, it's an organization starting at the top in Austin. Of course, you have seen the presence of the federal government. So we'll get you. I don't want to not give you a current number, but as of late last night, HPD was asked just to be on standby because they thought they had adequate resources from first responders. It's the time that we need, but time is running short, as we all know. It's a very stressful. In fact, hell, they were warning about more floods today. So, you know,
that's terrible.
It's probably as bad a tragedy as I've seen in my 50 plus years of public service. It's a time for everyone to come together. You know, partisanship, where you live, your ethnicity, any thing that people use to divide us needs to be condemned. We are Houstonians, we're Texans, we're human beings, and we're parents. As I said, I was really struggling Friday night. I was with my two daughters.
No kidding, Steve.
My daughter was dropping off the
Steve
11-year
is
oldest
100%
grandson
correct there.
yesterday at an East Texas camp. I'm living and watching the anxiety of families, but my family is very blessed, as most of us are. But as mayor of Houston, I want everybody to recognize that it's time to hug one another. Hug your kids.
No kidding.
And don't let anybody divide us at this point in time. Shouldn't ever, but Lord, not during these days of suffering by so many families. And so the next few days, we'll be monitoring things very carefully. Certainly any resources that the tragedy and the crisis needs out of Houston, we stand ready to serve. And I'll be talking to council and my team to see are there other steps we can take to assist the families that have lost so much. But right now, I think words matter. And let's
damn straight.
Let's be united on this suffering with other families.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it, man. I mean, that's terrible. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for making this show happen, man. Thank you all for being here. Listen, today is a special day. 7/7 is actually my daughter's birthday, which is today. And so she turned 3 years old. So I want to wish my baby girl a happy birthday. Third birthday. And I can't thank you guys enough for the cash apps and all the donations that you guys have sent. I believe I have one that just came through. Yes, I got $1 over here from Brother Lee Lance saying, dues OG, I would send more, but I have my fam. No, dude, you shouldn't even send anything. I appreciate you, but dues paid, my man. Thank you for the love and support on that, kind sir. But listen, hopefully everyone enjoys the rest of their morning and the rest of their day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for more of the World's Madness. As always, God bless everybody, and we'll see you guys very soon. Much love.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart steel and a spirit unbroken, he rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar.